Okay, listener, you weren't kidding about diving deep into AI this week. You've given us a ton to unpack on OpenAI, Meta, and Microsoft. So let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
What's really fascinating to me is how these companies seem to be in a constant game of one-upmanship.
Yeah.
It feels like every time I refresh my newsfeed, there's another groundbreaking announcement. And this week is no exception. OpenAI, for example, just wrapped up their Dev Day event. Now, I know a lot of the nitty-gritty developer stuff might not be super interesting to you,
Right.
but there was one thing that caught my eye. Whispers about something called AI agents,
Yeah.
potentially arriving as early as 2025.
Yeah. AI agents.
Yes, agents. It's a term that's been generating a lot of buzz in the AI community.
Yeah.
Essentially, these would be AI systems capable of completing tasks autonomously without constant human guidance. OpenAI's CEO is even predicting that 2025 will be a pivotal year for agents. Not just for OpenAI, but for the entire AI landscape. And it seems like they're putting their money where their mouth is, because OpenAI just secured a massive $6.6 billion funding round. That's not chump change.
Wow.
This huge influx of cash has led some to speculate that OpenAI might be transitioning from a nonprofit to a for-profit company. Now, I know you're deep into the area listener cares about in the AI world. So I'm curious, do you think this potential shift towards profitability might mean they pivot away from that type of research?
It's definitely something to keep an eye on, especially since OpenAI has also experienced a wave of high-profile departures recently, including their former CTO and members of their safety and alignment teams. There's a lot of speculation that these departures stem from internal disagreements about the speed of product releases.
It's a classic dilemma, isn't it? The desire to innovate quickly versus the responsibility to ensure safety and ethical considerations. Some argue that rushing into things could lead to unintended consequences, while others believe that progress requires a certain level of risk-taking.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see how OpenAI navigates this tension as they continue to develop these incredibly powerful AI systems. But they're not the only ones pushing the boundaries. Meta, for instance, just unveiled their latest AI video model, MovieGen. And let me tell you, this thing is seriously impressive.
Yeah.
What's so remarkable about MovieGen is its incredible editing precision. Meta demonstrated how you can make incredibly specific changes to videos using simple text prompts. Imagine changing a VR headset into a pair of binoculars just by typing it out. It's mind-blowing stuff.
It's incredible.
Okay, I'll admit, when I first saw this, I thought, this is going to be either incredibly cool or incredibly terrifying.
Right.
And you know what? It might be a bit of both, especially when you consider Meta's emphasis on personalized video editing. We're talking about uploading a picture of yourself and having AI generate a video of you doing, well, pretty much anything you can imagine.
Right.
The implications for social media and content creation are huge. Imagine a world where anyone can create incredibly realistic and personalized videos with just a few clicks. It could completely change how we consume and interact with content online. Now, Meta has said that MovieGen is still under development. Apparently, it's expensive to run and has long processing times. But come on, we all know Meta isn't just showing this off for fun. They're clearly demonstrating their AI capabilities and giving us a glimpse of what's to come. This move by Meta, along with OpenAI's push for AI agents, really highlights a larger trend we're seeing. AI evolving from a tool you use to a platform you live on. Some experts are even calling it the rise of AI as an operating system.
Yeah.
An operating system. What does that even mean in the context of AI?
Right. It's interesting.
Think of it this way. Instead of interacting with countless apps for individual tasks, you have a personalized AI assistant that acts as a central hub for your digital life. So instead of opening separate apps to check your calendar, make a reservation, or send a message, you could just tell your AI assistant what you need, and it takes care of everything seamlessly in the background. That's a pretty compelling vision, right, Wipting? And there are already hints of this shift happening. OpenAI's Canvas update for ChatGPT, for example, allows for real-time collaboration between you and the AI. It's like having an AI coworker who helps you write code, edit text, and brainstorm ideas.
Yeah.
And Google is also heavily integrating AI into its core products like Search and Android. They're rolling out AI-powered summaries of web pages so you don't have to wade through tons of text. They've also got this cool new feature that can identify songs playing around you just by listening. Wow, that's incredible. Seems like AI is popping up everywhere we look. But as AI becomes this ubiquitous presence in our lives, it begs the question, who gets to control it? That brings us to another fascinating debate that's raging in the AI world. Open source versus closed systems.
Right. Big debate.
It's like the battle for the soul of AI, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
On one hand, you have open source models like Meta's Llama, which are designed to be transparent and accessible to anyone. On the other hand, you have closed proprietary models like OpenAI's GPT, which are tightly controlled by the companies that created them. So what are the trade-offs here? Well, open source models have the advantage of transparency. Developers can look under the hood, see how they work, and even modify them to suit their needs. This openness can lead to more innovation and a more diverse AI ecosystem because it empowers anyone to build upon existing models without having to start from scratch. Meta's Llama 3.2 is a great example of this. It's designed with on-device processing in mind, meaning your data stays on your device instead of being sent to a central server. For someone like you who's plugged into the AI world, I bet data privacy is a big deal, right?
Absolutely, especially with all the concerns about data breaches and privacy violations these days.
Exactly. And Llama 3.2 isn't just about privacy, it's also incredibly capable.
Mhm.
It boasts impressive image understanding, meaning it could analyze a photo you take and instantly generate captions or even compose a related story, all while keeping your data safe.
Wow.
That's a powerful combination.
Yeah.
But closed systems like those from OpenAI have their advantages too. They offer tighter control over how the technology is used, which can be important for preventing misuse or unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Closed systems also tend to be better funded and can move faster with development, so it's trade-off. Transparency and accessibility with open source versus control and speed with closed systems.
Right.
It's like choosing between two paths, leading to potentially very different AI futures. Will we have a future where a few powerful companies hold the keys to the most advanced AI, or will we see a more open and collaborative approach where anyone can contribute to the development of this technology?
Right.
That's a question we'll have to grapple with as AI becomes increasingly integrated into our lives.
Mhm.
And speaking of grappling with tough questions, let's talk about the legal and ethical challenges that are starting to emerge as AI becomes more sophisticated. You mentioned deepfakes earlier. It's incredible how realistic these AI-generated videos are becoming and how difficult it is to distinguish them from real footage.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's a bit unsettling, isn't it? It
Yeah.
feels like we're entering an era where seeing is no longer believing. And it's not just deepfakes we need to be mindful of. Remember that recent case with the AI-generated image that sparked such an intense emotional response? It was
Mhm.
clearly labeled as AI-generated, but it still evoked strong reactions and reinforced existing beliefs.
Right.
It really makes you question the nature of truth and how easily our perceptions can be manipulated in the age of AI. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. As AI systems become more sophisticated, we're going to encounter even more complex ethical dilemmas. How do we ensure that AI is used for good and not for harm? How do we prevent bias from creeping into AI algorithms and perpetuating existing inequalities? These are questions we all need to be asking ourselves as we venture further into this uncharted territory. And we can't forget about all the other players in the AI game. Microsoft, for example, is going all in on AI integration. They're building AI assistants into everything from Windows to their search engine, Bing. They even have this new feature called Copilot Vision that allows your computer to see and understand what's on your screen.
Yeah, I saw that.
So you can literally talk to your computer and ask it to find information or complete tasks based on what it sees. That's straight out of a science fiction movie.
I know, right?
I know, right? And it's not just Microsoft. Apple surprised everyone by releasing an open source AI model called Depth Pro, which is making waves for its advancements in 3D vision.
Oh, wow. 3D vision.
3D vision, what kind of applications does that have?
I don't know.
Well, imagine even more realistic virtual worlds and experiences.
Mhm.
Imagine AI that can not only understand the world around us in 3D, but also generate and manipulate virtual environments with incredible realism. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about Google. They're enhancing their search engine and Android operating system with AI, making them even more intuitive and personalized.
Oh.
But what I find particularly interesting is their foray into AI-powered ads.
AI-powered as...
AI-powered ads. What does that even look like?
Yeah, what is that?
Well, imagine searching for something like how to remove a grass stain.
Yeah.
And instead of just getting a list of websites, you get an AI-generated response that summarizes the best methods followed by sponsored results for stain removal products. It's like the AI is anticipating your needs and seamlessly integrating relevant ads into the experience.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's pretty clever from a marketing perspective,
Mhm.
but it also seems like a slippery slope. Where do we draw the line between helpful information and manipulative advertising? And how do we ensure transparency so that users know when they're being targeted with ads?
Right. That's a good question.
These are all important questions, and it's great that you're thinking critically about these issues. We can't just blindly embrace AI without considering its potential downsides.
Yeah, it's true.
Absolutely. It's like we're walking a tightrope between innovation and responsibility.
Yeah.
We need to be excited about the possibilities while also being vigilant about the risks.
Right.
It's a lot to process, right? It seems like every week there's a new wave of AI advancements pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the technology itself, but the ripple effects it's creating across every aspect of our lives.
Yeah.
We've talked about AI agents, personalized video editing, the battle between open source and closed systems,
Yeah.
the ethical dilemmas of deepfakes and AI-generated content, the rise of AI as an operating system, and even AI climbing ladders.
Yeah, AI climbing ladder.
AI climbing ladders. I'll admit, even I was surprised by that one. It sounds like something straight out of a science fiction novel.
That's right.
But it's a real thing that's happening right now.
And
It just goes to show how quickly the field is evolving.
Mhm.
Remember at the beginning of our deep dive when we talked about how OpenAI's next AI model will be significantly larger than GPT-4. That's been a consistent trend in AI development. Bigger models, more data, more computing power. But recently there's been a growing awareness that bigger isn't always better.
Oh, really?
So
Interesting.
some experts are now advocating for a more nuanced approach to AI development. They argue that instead of just throwing more data and computing power at the problem, we should focus on developing AI models that are not only powerful, but also efficient, interpretable, and aligned with human values.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not just about building AI that can do amazing things, but AI that we understand and can trust. AI that reflects our values and helps us create the kind of future we want to see.
Scat.
Exactly. It's about moving beyond the move fast and break things mentality that has dominated the tech industry for so long, and taking a more thoughtful and responsible approach to AI development. Because, let's face it, the stakes are incredibly high.
Yeah, they are.
We're talking about technologies that have the potential to reshape our world in profound ways. The choices we make today about how we develop and use AI will have far-reaching consequences for generations to come.
It's true.
That's a lot of responsibility to shoulder. It can
It is.
feel overwhelming at times, especially with so much information and so many different perspectives swirling around.
Yeah.
It's true. It's easy to get caught up in the hype cycle, to be either overly optimistic or overly pessimistic about the future of AI. But the truth is, no one knows for sure what the future holds. What we do know is that AI is here to stay, and that it's up to us to shape its development in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Right.
So where do we go from here? What can we as individuals do to ensure that AI is used for good?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And there's no easy answer.
Yeah.
But I think it starts with staying informed, engaged, and critical. Don't just accept everything you hear about AI at face value. Ask questions. Challenge assumptions. Demand transparency and accountability from those developing these powerful technologies. And don't be afraid to voice your concerns. To engage in thoughtful dialogue about the kind of future you want to see. Remember, the future of AI is not predetermined. It's something we're actively creating through our choices, our actions, and our conversations.
Well said.
I think that's a great note to end on. You've given us a lot to think about today.
It's been a great conversation.
As you continue to explore the ever-evolving world of AI,
Mm-hmm.
remember, stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged. Until next time.